Welcome back again today, friends. We are on week 5 of our Use It Up Freezer and Pantry Challenge that I am throwing together here in summer 2024. If you've been following along, I'm trying to use up in different ways things from the depths of my freezers and pantry and canning pantry. And because I've had a year of life blowing up in unimaginable ways, we're celebrating. As I love to say, I'm proud of us that I actually feel like doing this freaking thing again. Like, I look at my ingredients and I feel inspired, and I feel like, let's do some things with those tomatoes. Let's use up that canned chicken. Anyway, we're doing it. So already over here on this channel is weeks 1, 2, and 3, and I will link those links down below. And of course, my big batch cooking adventures that I've been doing within this big freezer and pantry challenge are up over here on the channel as well. I've created a whole playlist of it, and that'll be linked down below for you also. I did not film last week on week 4 because I had a 3-day out-of-state business trip adventure, and I had a lot of, I feel like, administrative, personal stuff, life stuff, business stuff. That was the whole week, not even filming on the fly. This week, I feel like I still have a lot of that. I'm not filming big batch cooking days. Thank you for listening to my filming schedule, but I am sharing with you what I am serving up during week 5. Plus, I have some cooking projects on my whiteboard I'd like to get to in this video, and then follow along my weekly schedules. I plan to next week have 2 to 3 big batch cooking project adventure days that I'll take you along with too, and that will be week 6 in our pantry and freezer challenge universe. Okay, so had some things I want to get out of here to get them defrosting. So these are the breakfast bagel sandwiches that we made. My teenagers love having a couple bags of these. I mean, they'll eat them for lunch, they'll eat them for breakfast, whatever. We did sheet pan eggs for those, so I'm gonna get those out to defrost. We will probably, let's get some of that, you know, that freezer fruit bread that we asked so much of, that works so hard. And when I say defrost, it's not gonna stay here on this countertop. It's going to go in a refrigerator, but we're just checking out. And so right now, John Henry General Store has, I think, 20-pound boxes of tomatoes for $29. I also have some Friends Gardens that are getting ready to come in 2 tomatoes, and they've told me I can have a bunch. So we've got tomatoes here and tomatoes still at the bottom of that refrigerator, plus fresh tomatoes coming in. Anyway, so we're down on snacky things. I am in the middle of doing just some quick little fill-in grocery shopping, and I have another video that should have already been out before this, and like, I'm getting some apples today and some things from that, but I'm gonna get some muffins out because that's what these muffins were made for. So we will get out these applesauce muffins. I mean, once these come out, oops, losing our, well, okay. First off, I'll pick up the breakfast burritos in a minute. We will get those defrosting. And we've done several mornings of breakfast burritos, so we will just put those in here. And remember those, hold on, we're organizing here, those 9 dozen biscuits and all of those fun adventures, and how we got 7 dozen in the freezer. Well, here we are. We're down to our last 2 dozen, so I'm just going to leave those in there a little longer. I should go ahead and do this milk. I should do a great many things. Let's just get this defrosting. Why not? It was from last summer. Maybe I will use that to do yogurt. Stick with me, we'll find out. Speaking of yogurt, I also need some kids' yogurt. So we will get these out also. These we got at Sharp Shopper. I think they were 99 cents. Yep, 99 cents. So these will, I'll get 3 out, and then I'll leave 3 in the freezer. So here we are, grocery shopping in the basement. My mom, because I've been out of the sourdough business here lately, she orders sourdough. So that's where she's ordered it. But we need to get going on our sourdough too. This might be the video. Let's see. Okay, that's a French toast bake, and those are 2 breakfast bakes. Well, we can get that out for an upcoming breakfast as well. That's always good. Okay, so those are some good things we will use up in the coming days. And then over here in our freezer meal, dinners, and lunches freezer. This is how things are going. Now, I did pull out yesterday a deep dish shepherd's pie. That's going to be for dinner tonight. Let's see. Let's get some of these. These are these like macaroni cups that we did. It's got macaroni and cheese and little ham bites, but it's done in a little muffin cup. So we'll have those for upcoming goodness. And then looking, I guess we'll also pull out these pizza muffins. So that's some nice variety of things. So those were just set in there like that whenever we did the initial freeze. And I need some soup. So I'm going to pull out some Trim Train soup. And then looking. Oh, what I also already have defrosted upstairs for myself is one of these Trim Healthy Mama fish and rice pockets. I have a bag of those, so that is good. Other things happening in here, we have our pot pie filling that we've done. We have some sloppy joes up there. We have skinny chocolate. We have some baked spaghetti, some baked ziti, and then a bunch of shepherd's pies. And I'll also get out a couple bags of these THM Whoop Whoop soups because that's just delicious. So this is how the freezer is looking, and just sharing with you how I'm actively using it and rotating through things. And since I'm in the middle of doing some little grocery hauls, I went to Aldi yesterday, got 10 dozen eggs, and I mean just a few small things. So I'll link that video below for you too. But I do have a couple different boxes coming of produce from Friends Gardens. We've got a cantaloupe in there too. And so all of those good things together, we're going to be using up as well. Alrighty, so I mean, have friends that can grow cantaloupes, okay? I had some of their homegrown cantaloupe the other night. It was delicious. So we will also chop this up for some snacks. And then I have 3 cucumbers. I have many more, but just as far as dinner tonight, we'll chop this up. That was the other thing at Aldi yesterday. So the kiddos that were with me, I let them each pick out 2 boxes of cereal. It's already gone. I mean, not really, but they're waiting for me to film the grocery haul. But it doesn't count. And then I got 2 bottles of ranch, and I got 10 dozen eggs, and I got gluten-free bread and stocked up on that while we were there. So, okay, cucumbers with tonight's dinner. We will have ranch. That was my point with that. And then I'm probably going to do some sheet pan zucchini and squash real quick in some bacon grease. So here you go. Here's my little downstairs grocery shopping in my basement grocery haul of items that we will be using in this video over the coming days. And again, we've been threatening to just get, I know once I get going on it, I know it's no big deal. It's the easiest thing in the world to make homemade yogurt. But we'll use this up, and again, I am proud of us. And then of course continuing on, no makeup mama here, but that's okay. We're moving through the day. Did an almost 4-mile run, going out to do some running around and errands with a teenager. Also just downstairs again, and while I was down there I brought up, this is something else we need. So just some more lunch meat that'll be defrosting, and then some of the carving board chicken. Get that in the fridge. And then one of the things that I am doing as I go out, we're going to go to the John Henry General Store, and again that'll be in my grocery haul video. But I just wanted to see what my butter situation is, because you know, maybe 2 weeks ago I ran out of butter. It was so sad. And anyway, did a $100 butter investment. I'm still okay on butter though, but I'll see what they have there. I might get a little more from the freezer, but I don't need it right now. It's just butter prepping. Anyway, here's how the big upstairs fridge is looking. This is my THM stuff defrosting, my sourdough that I fed so well and then had to get put back in there, the yogurt that's defrosting, the muffins and such. Yesterday I was out doing some errands and I picked up 2 $4.99 rotisserie chickens from Costco and called that quick and easy busy mama dinner last night. And then we have someone's little bit of scrambled eggs from this morning telling the story. And then there's our French toast bake that's defrosting that we'll use for breakfast in a few days. Something else we can prep is those lemons for lemon water for like the next week or so. That would be good. We've got a little bit of plums left, half a bag of mandarins. And my toddler is in a heavy, happy apple season, so gonna stock up on apples for him. Okay, well, that was exciting. So, was able to get to our other appointment. Went to the Jamerrill store. Fantastic deal on canning tomatoes. If someone was going to break down in their minivan while hauling 475 pounds of canning tomatoes, which 225, 50-ish pounds of those were only $1 per 25 pounds. Okay, anyway, I'm excited, canning math. But if someone was going to break down with 475 pounds of canning tomatoes, it would, yeah, I'm your girl. That's it. I'm your girl. It's me. It's me. I'm the one. So, was doing after an appointment, after loading up at John Henry, and then doing some teen driving through some nice little quiet neighborhoods. Yeah, it's probably just the alternator. It's fine. $67. Towing company came to the rescue. But, whew, so that's just taken a little bit more of my evening than I would have, than was on my list. I still have that grocery haul I need to film. So all that to say, I don't know that I'm gonna do, what is it I'm not doing? I'm like, what has changed with this now? Well, I'm gonna get the shepherd's pie in the oven now late. I don't know that I'm going to do the sheet pan, zucchini, and squash. We probably won't cut that cantaloupe until tomorrow. And if we're doing well, we'll get 3 of those cucumbers cut up tonight, because I have worldwide news. I have new ranch dressing, and that's important. So, and we've got lots of cucumber access right now. With the shepherd's pie, I'm just tinting the foil on the top of it for right now. And that will cook while I work on the grocery haul. And I'm just exhaling. Yay. Alrighty, I took the tinted foil off of the shepherd's pie a bit ago. I think it's done. I just got done filming my grocery haul also. And oh yeah, it should be. It was a deep dish, so I thought it might need a little extra, and it's a bubbling, so it'll definitely need to cool for a bit. I'm sure we have definitely surpassed the 165 internal temperature. Yes. And I don't touch the bottom, but we're at 210 there. Yeah, we're good. So I'm gonna have to let that sit probably about 15 minutes or so. But the last one, I did a 10 by 15 shepherd's pie. On the day that I cooked these, I'll link the video in the description, and it's in the playlist for this new Pantry Freezer Challenge series we're doing. But they just gobbled up a 10 by 15. So I know they'll love this deep dish. We're gonna cut some cucumbers. We also, I'm gonna haul these tomatoes and get them in the freezer. So I chopped up the cucumbers. One, there was a big temperature fluctuation in the fridge there, so I just murdered the side of that. That's fine. So just keeping it simple, we'll have fresh cucumbers, bottle of new ranch from Aldi's, shepherd's pie, dinner's done, and I put my fish and rice hangry packet pockets from THM, and so I'll have one of those with cucumber. We did it. So. Alrighty friends, good morning. Just got back up from the grocery store in my basement, so I'm showing you my little grocery haul as I think through, and this is what I do. Like a lot of mamas, I prep in the morning for either what's needed on this day or the following day, all those good things. So talk in hand, the shepherd's pie will be finished by lunchtime today. I've got a baked spaghetti that we did in a recent Pantry Challenge freezer cooking day, and that will be for dinner tonight, along with, so we're gonna have a dinner buffet. I'm going to do sheet pan. So from my friend's garden, I've brought up a couple zucchinis, And then even though I've ruined the green part of the onions, I've got some onions from the gardens. So I'm going to do sheet pan vegetables, and I thought I would do, we need to use up these chicken meatballs. They're a teriyaki pineapple flavor, and they're no antibiotics, gluten-free and such, and then also this pack of chicken. So we're gonna do sheet pan chicken and vegetables basically. I also brought up about 7 PB&Js just to get those defrosting in this refrigerator because I am doing just heavy, it's administrative mama work days. So all the extra help we can get is appreciated. So those will be in the refrigerator. I also brought up some coffee creamer because I used the last bit in my coffee this morning, and I thought I would get some yogurt going in the Instant Pot today. Who are we? I'm so excited. And I may miss that, and it may not be till tomorrow or the next day, but those are my thoughts. And then this is some THM Skinny chocolate from the freezer, and this is delicious, and so I'm gonna eat that. I feel like in a couple hours, noon to 2, I'm gonna need some chocolate, and there you go. That's what I'm gonna pull from. So here's my little morning basement store grocery haul. Well, happy lunchtime, friends. Breakfast was, you know, that already gone cereal that I got at Aldi yesterday. Not truly already gone, but that's what they had for breakfast. So here is a Toddler fruit and chicken, using up the last of the Costco chicken. So fruit and chicken plate. And here's another little using up chicken bits from our Costco chicken requested lunch plate. Okay, friends, so the day is definitely marching on, and you see that that's the 475 pounds of tomatoes that's judging us now that it is almost 6 o'clock in the evening. They're judging us hard right now. With my little vehicle breakdown adventure and such, I just had to go to a parts store and get the part for that to have someone that's gonna fix it this evening for me. So that's a blessing. I don't have my run in for today, but I do have 16,000 steps, so that's good. So I'm going to get the baked spaghetti for dinner. You see what happened is we're gonna have a little bit pullback of my earlier morning excited dinner plans because we're gonna wash those tomatoes and get them in the freezer. It's happening. I'm going to get the baked to-do list. Ready? Okay. Baked spaghetti in the oven. Run in. Today's a 35-minute run. I'm gonna get that run in. And then I'm gonna come in and wash those tomatoes and get them in the freezer where they belong because they're bossing me. Okay, they're bossing me. Yesterday's blessing is today's boss. Okay, and so my idea is the garden fresh vegetables and the chicken that I brought up earlier that I was gonna do like a family dinner buffet option. I will do things where I have a freezer meal I heat up and also do another choice for dinner. And there's a lot of us. There's a lot of people and I like having choices, but baked spaghetti and some more of that fresh cucumber from last night. We'll be fine tonight. That's it. Let's get this in the oven and go run. Okay, well, at least we can say dinner's done. I don't have to do anything extra. Oh, that yogurt, yeah. It's okay. Tomorrow's another day, and dinner is still done for tonight. And these tomatoes are gonna make it in the freezer, so I'm proud of us. Sorry, I was just eating a few bites of a peach, and I opened the refrigerator to put those garden vegetables I was doing on a sheet pan tonight in, and look what I found. So, that's what's left of the shepherd's pie, okay? It was consumed by some humans who live here for lunch, and that is great. So let me just help it out. We will get that pan soaking. And I'm really loving those peaches that we got half a bushel of yesterday. I think I've had 3 today, and other people have been eating them, so that was definitely a good thing to pick up for something different. So you guys probably saw this in the grocery haul that should be out right now, but just in case you haven't, I got 400, hey, you wanna talk about 475 pounds of tomatoes again on the next day? In case you already haven't heard about it 27 times, here you go. Here's number 27. You wanna see my tomatoes? So anyway, we're gonna get washing these now and make something happen. Now some of these have some little funky in them, but I got them for $1 for a 25-pound box. So we're gonna pick through each and every box. Just getting the lids off here so we can see what we're doing. They were not refrigerated where they were. either. Perfect world, I would have done this morning, but we are flexible. We do the things. We run to parts stores. We get stuff done, right? Okay, so here are all the lovely boxes. Alrighty, so we are just going to go through this 125-pound box at a time. Pick through them. It's going to be great. Let's see, that one's, might use that one. Now, there'll be some that we just need to use quickly. Sorry, just got done with that run I told you about, so, whew, catching my breath. We got some that we'll use now, and then we have some that'll just need to be pitched. This whole box looks good, except I got one that the top needs cut off of. It's still very usable. So I continue to individually wash off each tomato, and I'm getting my big 30-quart bowls ready to take the washed off tomatoes, and I was just going to hold them in those bowls for now until I got done washing through all the tomatoes to see how many was I really going to end up with. You know, those 11 boxes that I got, they were 11 25-pound boxes, and they were $1 each. And so I thought, for those 275 pounds of tomatoes for $11, you know, I knew I would lose some of them because obviously they were very ripe and ready to be those prices. They were regularly $29 a box, and the other 8 boxes that I bought on this day that were in pretty good shape, those were $9.99 a box. So I ended up coming home, of course, with 475 pounds of tomatoes, but I figured 75 pounds to 100 of those just may not be usable. But for my $11 gamble on those additional 275 pounds of tomatoes, I thought we would come out ahead, because that was still just barely over the price of a $9.99 box of tomatoes that was already marked down. So here's about 50 pounds so far. We have 2 that we just need to slice up and eat, and then so far we may end up with like a whole 25-pound box full. That one was just smushed at the bottom. These other boxes that are in good shape, that's just water for me rinsing things. I might keep these with the lids just for a bit. You just always need a good box, right? But anyway, let's keep going. So 50 pounds down. So at this point, I am still mostly going through the first 8 boxes that I paid $9.99 a box for. And those boxes at John Henry, I went through all the boxes that were left and just picked the 8 best for the $9.99 markdown price. And then once I bought those and I loaded them in my car, they looked at the boxes that were left and they said, if you just want the rest of these, we'll charge you $1 a box. And actually, I remember now, they only charged me, it's pennies, it's tomato math. We love it. This is like chicken math, okay? You start with a dozen chickens and next thing you have 3 dozen. It's easy to get there. Same thing with tomatoes, and we are proving this fact. You can start with 200 pounds, 8 25-pound boxes, and then you leave with 475 pounds. But anyway, I had not gotten to the point where I was washing the additional 11 boxes that I remember now I got for only $10. That's what they actually charged me on my receipt. And so I appreciate the tomato math and the tomato deal. So in these first 8 boxes, there's not too many tomatoes that don't pass my little Mama I quality control test. Once we get into the 11 boxes though, we do have more that we start setting aside. We'll get there though. And this is where washing and just inspecting each tomato is also helpful. And I am putting them in the bowls before we repackage them in the boxes and then get them down in the freezers, because it's good to see how many tomatoes I'm working with and making sure I got them clean and ready to go.
So I just continue with my assembly line of washing off each tomato and then putting them, after I let them drain for a bit, putting them in the 30-quart bowls. And you can see on the table behind me there, we have tomatoes that are just, they're sitting there and judging us. So those tomatoes, I got them the day before. I was hoping to go through them that night, did not happen. So I was hoping to go through them the next day in the morning, did not happen. But here we are now in the afternoon and on into evening, and you know what, it's actually a pretty big job washing through the 475 pounds of tomatoes. So we're doing it though. We have a baked spaghetti that came out of the oven that's on the stove top behind us, and I'm going to chop up a few more things and get that ready to go for dinner as well. And yeah, the evening's just marching on, but we're doing it.
So here we go, looking at dinner. So this is a toddler confession time, a toddler plate from earlier that actually was not eaten. I just read the signs of the times and said, that's okay. Put it in the refrigerator now for dinner. Added baked spaghetti to it and a little ranch dip with the cucumbers. That's how a portion of the baked spaghetti turned out. Also, this family person here is gonna add some ranch with their cucumbers, also set out the peaches. Here's the whole baked spaghetti. I'm just keeping it warm there with the lid, and yay, dinner while Mama works on these tomatoes. So here's the bottom of a box that everything's just all rotten on it, so I will dump it into this box, and then these are pretty good, and then these are ones we're going to use for fresh slice. Okay, so this is one of the $1 boxes, and I picked through it pretty well, but everything's pretty slimy there on the bottom layer. I think even, no, that one we can use that. But anyway, so here's our rotten ones piling up. And that's okay though, as we like to say around here, look at us, we're doing it. So now I'm going through my 11 25-pound boxes, and actually I end up with many more tomatoes than I thought. I definitely was thinking I would get at least half of that amount from the 11 boxes, and it turns out good. We continue to stack them in our bowls for now, and that's what those 30-quart mixing bowls are so good for. I use them for so many food organizing projects and big batch cooking and all of our things we have going on around here. So again, this video is during the week 5 of my Use It Up Freezer and Pantry Challenge. And I did have much more I wanted to film and share and other little cooking projects during this week. I just had a lot of administrative tasks I needed to continue on with. And then week 6, I ended up not filming at all. We just switched over to using heavy freezer meals, which is perfect because the Use It Up Freezer and Pantry Challenge to me is all about either using the ingredients I have to make more freezer meals or more big batch cooking for my family now, and also for my family later. And so we heavily used up the rest of the shepherd's pies, several of the baked spaghettis. Many of the items that we have already prepped in the freezers, we used up during the rest of week 5 and throughout week 6. Week 6 was just heavy breakfast, lunch, dinner, freezer meals, and I'm thankful that's what they're there for.
That does mean, though, that in our future, I want to make more dinner freezer meals, because before this challenge, I was low on dinner freezer meals because we use them. And so now I'm back to feeling like, oh, wait a minute, I do have some breakfast freezer meals left, but I don't have a big stash of dinner freezer meals now. I am getting ready to get a whole cow that I've ordered picked up later in August. Now, the pickup date was going to be middle of August. I talked to the farmer I'm working with this year, and they said that they can actually hold that beef for me for a few extra weeks if I need to. And I'm thankful about that, because I'm hoping to get to processing the total of over 600 pounds of tomatoes with what I also already have from last season's garden in my freezers too. I'm hoping to get to processing those for several days during week 8 or 9 of this challenge. And from the future, I'm currently filming week 7. So again, time is marching on, and I'm proud of us. We are doing it. So we will be processing these tomatoes. My big goal right now is a ton of tomato sauce. I'm always using tomato sauce, and I want to have our home canned tomato sauce again. And then we are going to work through making beef broth and bone broth with all of those bones I have from the last cow I bought in my freezer. I've got like 8 bags of bones. And after that, we will then, and I'll take you with me, we will pick up the whole new cow for the rest of 2024 that I have ordered. I'll show you what that looks like, and we will just continue working and processing from there.
Okay, so at this point, every single bowl is filled. These are all my 30-quart bowls, and they're overflowing. You see, this is fact. This is not fiction. So I've got about 100 pounds left. And so what I'm gonna do is just wash them and put them back in clean boxes. So here's how our tomato washing is progressing. So we're still doing it. And then over here, this box that I was just washing out, this is one of the $1 boxes. Everything that is left in here is nice and rotten. So all done with this. And then we have these 2 that we've been filling. So this very last 25-pound box is a bustin'. But I did get one good tomato out. Let's see what's going on in here. Okay. I don't mind having to wash them off. That one should be fine if we wash it. Get them a washing. Oh, that one might have to go in in another direction. That one's good though. Okay, so looks like, I mean, these are all the ones that are washed. And with the tomatoes that I just set outside that we're gonna give to a neighbor's farm contributions tomorrow, I'm guessing it's about 75 pounds. Anyway, I just set them outside for tonight. 2 of them are full, the other 2 are half full. So they're 25 pounds each. Excuse the guard dog noise. But anyway, so I'm saying about 75 pounds out of our $1 a box tomatoes, about 11 boxes for $1 each. And so we have the equivalent of 3 full boxes that didn't make it. And then those are just some that were too stinky to be in the house for tonight. And so here we are. I am reorganizing my dinners, freezer meal, freezer, and again, so many of these dinners we ended up using throughout the rest of week 5 and a full 7 days in a row for week 7. So we blasted through a lot of what you are seeing that's in there currently. And again, that's what they're there for, you know, when life gets extra hectic and man, mama gets pounded. Mama gets pounded by a stack of administrative things that only mama can do. Then I just buckled down that week and hey, we just set things out from that freezer and look at us. I'm proud of us. We're doing things. I just can't say that enough. But what I'm doing here is I am unloading these tomatoes into this basket. It holds a good bit. And then we're going to get several rows of tomatoes in the door of this freezer, and we're also going to fit in some full boxes into this freezer, and we just keep unloading like this. And I plan to continue sharing with you using up different items in the freezers and in my pantry as we are just using things up and clearing it out. You know, if I would not have had a season where life had not blown up so hard for so long, I will see if maybe I can get a few of these smaller ones in the top there. So as I was saying, if only I had not had a season where life had blown up so hard and so fast, then I feel like I could have stayed more on top of my things in my freezers and in my pantry. But we just lived off of freezer meals like how we do when the going gets tough, or you know, good and bad things in life that we have to deal with. And so now I feel that I am back to the capacity where I can look creatively at my things I have stored up and get them used properly for my family. I'm still working through the canned chicken that we did last year, and I want to do several even simple freezer meals like chicken, broccoli, and rice casserole. You know, those are good, and there's healthy variations of those that can be done, and that's a good way to use up canned chicken. Here in the future, I'm getting ready to do an evening of slow cooker chicken barbecue again. I picked up my buns the other day, yesterday for that, and I'm just using that J.P. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce and pouring the drained canned chicken from our homegrown chickens into the slow cooker, and that will be dinner coming up here real soon. I got lots of corn that keeps coming in from the community garden that I've helped with, and so that's good. So within all of this, we are also using fresh things from either my friend's garden or the community garden that I'm in contact with. And that's another blessing that I didn't even take into consideration when I started this Use It Up Pantry and Freezer Challenge. And so I'm hopeful that from those contacts we will we'll be adding another load of tomatoes to the freezers potentially and have even more tomato projects. Don't ask me what time it is, but we're doing it. We're doing this thing, aren't we? So I think I got about 175 pounds in this one. Let's see the big test. Nice. Okay. And so we obviously did some rearranging. I took my box of freezer PB&Js out for the moment. We're going to look at this fruit and veggie freezer. I feel like I can reorganize in here some more too. And there's my tomatoes from last year. So I think we can do this. Popsicles in the wrong spot. So I'm doing my little mama organization here, and the biggest thing that I'm doing during this challenge, well, one of the big things I'm doing is I'm not doing heavy grocery shopping during this time either, because again, as you see, we have things that we can use up. I do like to have
food on hand, obviously, because I'm feeding 10 to even some days 15 people, many meals. And so as a large family mama, as a mega mama through the years, I have slowly developed food storage as something that I like to have for my family so that we have food and food components ready to go. So the big thing during this challenge is I'm not doing like my big once a month grocery shopping grocery hauls. We are going through and using up items like the broccoli that you see there in my freezer by my head. We will use that with our chicken broccoli rice casseroles that we will do coming up too. So we are staying out of big shopping at grocery stores, and that is good. I'm still getting milk and butter and bread and those kind of things. I have yet to make another loaf of sourdough here in the whole From the Future 7 weeks during this challenge. I'm still buying bread, and that's okay. I'm thankful to buy bread. And so I repacked those tomatoes in another box and got those in there, and we are making things fit in these freezers. So I'm just continuing to load these tomatoes into this freezer, and they will have to be in here for a couple weeks. You know, you have to get your deals when you can find them, as you can, but they'll be in here for a few weeks, and then we will have our big worldwide YouTube canning extravaganza party. Also, be sure to check out my friend Jessica over on Three Rivers Homestead. She is currently doing her annual Every Little Bit Counts challenge, where she and many women from around the world do some sort of little food preservation project, some days little, some days big, every day in August. And so I'm definitely not to my capacity meter where I can do that for sure. However, I enjoy the challenge and I get inspired by it too. And this is my I'm just doing what I can do challenge. Okay, friends, we did it. The rest of the tomatoes are in this second refrigerator. So, or freezer, I mean. Let's see, pass the test. Nice. Here's the side by side view. The door's open there. So, okay. Tomato canning projects await, and the other freezer behind me has the rest of last year's garden tomatoes.
Well, hello, good afternoon. Look, like the olden days, towel on the head, dishes are soaking. Okay, have a good day. We're playing like we're going, but we're not. We're just going in and out and open the door. So anyway, working on a toddler lunch. So I'm cutting the grapes in fourths, and I have, hey, are you back? Have a good day, bye-bye. Love you. Okay, he's playing like he's going, love you too. Okay, he's going in and out to work, alrighty. I've had those grape cutters before, and I just don't have it right now, and so I'm cutting the grapes in fourths. That's what I'm trying to say. Already cut a little applesauce muffin in half. We got some little chunks of chicken. We got a little strawberry banana Go-Gurt, and I cut the grapes. Going to cut up some kiwi and peach too. Now, even though I'm headless right now, I can say, while I chop this up, that my other folks have already made their similar lunch plates. There's been a couple different ones that had some of the baked spaghetti left over from last night and some fruit, or they've made some different sandwiches. Again, fruit is deep and wide. I now somehow today have 5 cantaloupes at my house. Are you back already?
What?
You back from work? You back from your mower?
No.
No? Okay, and I will probably eat half of this peach myself. But anyway, a friend brought more cantaloupe last night. So I got 5 cantaloupes that, I mean, they're just ready. They're so ready. I should be doing that now, but I am doing some other things besides this lunch. Do hope to take a little time for some food prep this afternoon and all the things, but I'm at least making this toddler plate. Oh, that's what I was telling you. Other folks made their lunch plates, have been fed, and I had 2 slices of Ezekiel bread with 2 eggs on top, That was a couple hours ago though, and I'm not hungry, but these peaches are amazing. So I'm just gonna eat that like that. Alrighty, so there is a toddler lunch. No pressure if he eats the whole thing or not. He'll eat what he wants. What he doesn't eat, I'll just put the little tray in the fridge for later. And then if he eats it and wants more, I mean, you just don't know sometimes. There's plenty more where this came from. So we have our peaches, our kiwi, our grapes, our yogurt, our applesauce muffin, and some chicken. And that's from our chicken we got defrosting from the freezer. All right, friends, happy day. And happy, like what they say, holy cow, Batman. Like, holy cow, Batman. Large family fill-in grocery haul. Mainly, this was to fill in necessities. So, the last pack of toilet paper was open this morning, and that's always my cue. Okay, wait, we need to get ahead on this for a minute. So, we did that. We were out of laundry pods, stocked up on 3 things of that. And then we always like to stay ahead on paper plates. They were out of the great value napkins that I like to stock up on, so I just got a case of paper towels. And then I had some personal hygiene product needs, so if we need 1 toothbrush, I'll just get a couple multiple packs. So I got these from Reach. I got 2 more things of Tom's toothpaste. The Aussie brand was requested. You know, I do stock up on the Suave conditioner and products, and then as humans develop different brands and preferences and stuff that they like, we get those too. And then we needed a fresh wet brush. And then tonight we are having our fire pit. So let's think about Mom not getting into the s'mores. I got some of these zero sugar Max marshmallow. I mean, supposedly fueled with collagen and MCT oil. If it's all true, then thank you, Walmart. And then also a Lily's hazelnut milk chocolate delicious thing. It has like little chunks of nut in it. So pretty good. I won't have the whole thing at one time, but I mean, if I could have like 3 of these and a quarter of this, I'll be feeling pretty well included. I did get the gluten-free folks, this gluten-free brand of graham crackers, and they do like these. Again, the bread by this brand, they're not totally sold on, but the treats and the graham crackers and such, they like. And then some regular old graham crackers. I got 2 packs of the chocolate bars this time and 2 packs of the marshmallows. We got 2 packs of hot dogs. Last time I just went with a 24 pack, and just, yeah, I think we had 11 or 12 people total. So anyway, better to have a few more than be missing a few. And when you're doing a fire pit, we probably had just several hot dogs that were dropped or fell in the dirt or whatever. It's life when you're cooking on a stick. So we have some backup, and then some more hot dog buns. So this is something that we're continuing to practice our fire pit skills, and I have some really fun camping adventures coming up that I'm going to share parts of with you guys too, and me doing some things I've always wanted to do. So that'll be coming up, and we're practicing now with our fire pit fun. So this is my mainly household and then a little bit of food. So as far as like my grocery budget, these items here are actually the food items. And so in reference to my pantry challenge, nothing for dinner tonight besides the ton of fresh fruit. We've got a bunch of cantaloupes and stuff we've got to get to. That'll be used tonight, and then the rest of these other items are household necessities. Well, good morning, another happy day. I've been outside getting my walk in this morning, and I had a teen work on some breakfast stuff. So there's a teenager plate, there's a plate for 2 other kiddos, and then these are special requested fried in bacon grease eggs for Mama. And I'm going to toast up some Ezekiel bread toast to eat those on top of. So good morning, good morning. And friends, that brings us to the end of the week 5 of my Use It Up Freezer and Pantry Challenge, where again, we're doing it. I have obtained total over 600 pounds of tomatoes and
coming up, hopefully mid-August, we will be going through processing those. Again, I didn't record the rest of week 5 or anything for week 6, but you know what? All those dinner freezer meals you saw, that's what they're there for. They were super helpful, and I'm glad for them. I appreciate that. Also, for those of you following my running journey for July, I clocked over 135 miles. Now, that wasn't just running. In over 17 runs, I did 54 miles with an average 3.21 miles ran for each run. I also did heavy walking and just a little mountain hiking in July. So I did extra walking for a total of 80 miles. And I tell you, walking is where it's at for me. It is such a good stress reliever. It helps me process. It helps me push through it, the whole thing. Scientific research says, that I can't quote for you properly, that it just does wonderful things for our brains and our bodies through walking. And I'm thankful these legs are able to walk, and I'm thankful for all of my running. Now, my running for the month of July took about 16 hours for the whole month, and that includes my one big 5K race. So I get this 16 hours a month in by either running early in the mornings or later evenings on my property. I just swing this around my family needs. And as I mentioned, my deep processing walking is super important to me. So I do extra walking pretty much 7 days a week. There is a day, it's more rare that I have a day that I, might only be at 3,000 or 4,000 steps. Usually I'm hitting a good 20 to 25,000 steps a day, 4 days a week. Those steps are from runs, and the other days, that's all from walking. One of the big questions that I get is moms want to know, folks want to know where my family is while I do my extra walking and my running. So as I mentioned, my runs, those are happening in the morning here on my property. Folks are still sleeping, or later in the evening, people are doing different activities, and they don't take long. I mean, I can run for 35 minutes. I do one long run a week. That's usually an hour to 10 to an hour and 20 minutes or so. But again, those are not daily. For my deep processing walking, it's just pretty much around whatever my family needs. If they're outside for an hour, I'll put in one earbud. I'll just walk up and down my driveway. If I've got folks on a trampoline, I will just walk circles around it. If it's an evening and the house is settled from the day, I can just set my little walking timer for 30 minutes and do some extra laps while I have another adult in the house. So total, I like numbers, and I know folks have asked me. So hey, again, the July recap. Total, my 80 miles of extra walking in July took about 47 hours. And with my watch that I wear, you spell it COROS, and I can link that for you down below. It even tells me the amount of hours my walking and my runniness takes. So I like data, believe it or not. My Jamerrill brain likes data. That's how I've also been a successful businesswoman. My 80 miles of extra walking took 47 hours for the entire month of July, and that breaks down to about 12 hours a week. So my running and my walking each week is about 17 hours, and I work that 17 hours around my family's needs and schedules, and my mental health and my emotional health and my physical health are very, very important to me and my people. So that 17 hours a week is a gift to us. So anyway, also in July, I listened through the first 3 Anne of Green Gables series books, and in August, I am on book 4, Anne of Windy Poplars, and I listen to the Anne books a lot. I get them through Audible while I'm doing that good walking. So anyway, I thought many of you who have just put time into following my running and walking and overall mama health journey, I thought you would appreciate those. Hearing those numbers for the month of July. Thank you for joining me for week 5 of the Use It Up Freezer and Pantry Challenge. I have many more videos coming up. We've got a camping equipment shop with me and haul. We got a shop, all the stores shop with me. So many fun stores and the haul from that. We also have a fun trip coming up. You will love it. And so many other adventures, and also the full week 7 of the Use It Up Freezer and Pantry Challenge. And I just appreciate you all being here and hanging out with me and your support and encouragement. And I'll talk with you in those comments below, and I'll see you real soon with another brand new video.